There were cameras everywhere, high up in the sky, tracking Donald Trump's Secret Service detail, weaving its way through New York streets, down low, following Trump's every step, every word.
Mr. Trump, how are you feeling today?
It's a very, very sad day in America, I can tell you that.
Because America has never seen a trial like this. A former president facing criminal charges. The prosecution saying Trump lied about hush money payments to a porn star in order to help him win the election in 2016. The defense saying you can't trust any of what these people who take the stand against Donald Trump say because for them, it's personal. They're simply not credible. Who are these witnesses poised to take down a former president? And importantly, can we believe what they have to say?
You told Donald Trump to turn around and take off his pants.
Yes.
And did he?
Yes.
In this story, you'll either see people refer to her as Stephanie Clifford, which is her real name, or Stormy Daniels, which is her porn name.
I am Stormy Daniels, adult film star, mom, idiot who can't keep her mouth shut.
She is this criminal case's origin story. She says she met Trump at a celebrity golf tournament in 2006. She claims he propositioned her, they had sex, which she would go on to describe vividly.
And you made love.
Gross! What is wrong with you?
I mean...
I laid there and prayed for death.
Trump denies ever having an affair with Daniels, but she says 10 years after the alleged affair, in the final days of Trump's 2016 presidential election campaign, she was paid to keep quiet.
In the weeks before the 2016 election, Donald Trump had arranged a $130,000 payment to the adult film star.
Now, there's nothing illegal about having an affair, nothing illegal about trying to hide it, even when money's involved. But this case is about how those payments, which both sides agree happened, how they broke election campaign finance laws. And that piece of the puzzle relies almost entirely on the testimony of Trump's former personal lawyer.
He is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat. I am providing the committee today with several documents, and these include a copy of a check Mr. Trump wrote from his personal bank account after he became president to reimburse me for the hush money payments I made to cover up his affair with an adult film star and to prevent damage to his campaign.
That's Michael Cohen, the man who once said he'd take a bullet for Trump, who will become the prosecution's star witness against him. He is the one who paid off Stormy Daniels $130,000 US to stay quiet about her accusation that she and Trump had a one-night stand. In a previous trial, for which he pleaded guilty, Cohen testified that the money technically came from him, but really, he says, it came from Trump, who reimbursed Cohen with monthly checks, $35,000 each time. Then, the prosecution argued today, Trump lied about it in his business records, calling the payments to keep Stormy Daniels quiet legal expenses, which they were not. That's a relatively minor thing, falsifying business records, a misdemeanor. But that escalates to a felony charge if the fraud was committed with the intent to conceal some other crime. Like, you didn't just lie, you lied to hide something else that you did wrong. That other crime, lawyers say, was to skirt campaign finance law.
The federal election laws of the United States requires any contribution, direct or in kind, that is made to a candidate must be reported. And this was not reported on the financial election forms of Donald Trump.
You see, the argument goes, these payments to silence Stormy Daniels were in fact campaign expenses to keep Trump from looking bad to voters. So what the prosecution said today in opening arguments and what Michael Cohen's testimony is intended to show, Trump ordered the payments to bolster his election campaign, lied about what those payments were for, and in doing so, tried to hide a second crime, which was to misreport what was actually a campaign contribution. Now, Trump calls Cohen a liar. And Cohen has admitted to lying in the past, lying in court even, under oath. This is a big weak spot in the case against Trump. So a third star witness we expect to hear from is all about establishing a pattern of behavior. David Pecker is a longtime friend of Donald Trump, the former CEO of the company that owns the National Enquirer. His role in the prosecution's case is to show how Trump and his allies routinely sought to protect his reputation through what's called
Catch and kill.
Catch and kill.
Catch and kill.
Prosecutors argue Pecker promised to be Trump's eyes and ears, supporting his run for president by keeping an eye out for people claiming to have dirt on Trump. He would pay them to buy the exclusive rights to their story, but then never publish. The story would never see the light of day. Catch and kill.
He was allegedly at a meeting at Trump Tower in August of 2015, was there with Michael Cohen and with Donald Trump, and that he basically, according to prosecutors, agreed to be the eyes and ears of the Trump campaign.
The catch and kill ties together two important aspects of the prosecution's case. First, it shows motive. This is why Trump lied. He wanted to win the 2016 election. He knew he had to try to stop any bad publicity against him. And also, it shows that why the jury should care about this case. In other words, Trump and his lawyers are arguing this is all just sort of a recording violation. It doesn't matter. But here it's a matter of lying to the public and trying to keep information that the voters would want to have away from them.
We expect to hear David Pecker say under oath that Stormy Daniels initially came to the National Enquirer looking to sell her story of her alleged affair with Trump. He alerted Michael Cohen, who then took the reins.
This is a persecution like never before.
So how much of what these witnesses will likely testify is believable? The defense argues much of it is suspect because these people are either motivated by greed, by revenge, or by self-preservation. Stormy Daniels has created a real business out of putting Trump in his place. She wants to testify.
I'm absolutely ready. I've been ready. I'm hoping with all of my heart that they call me because as I showed on the stand against Michael Avenatti, I don't need someone to speak for me. And I relish the day that I get to face him and speak my truth.
She's done countless media interviews, speaking engagements. She appeared on Saturday Night Live.
I work in adult films. We're not really known for our acting.
She wrote a tell-all book, sells merch, and she's made clear this is personal.
This is it, huh?
It's the most accurate depiction.
Michael Cohen, according to the defense, wants revenge. He's already served jail time, in part for his role in some of the allegations in this case. He's been more than willing to slam Trump publicly.
Donald is a very vindictive human being. Just take a look at some of the statements that he made. If you punch him, he wants to hit you back 10 times harder.
And he's written not one, but two books about his thorny relationship with Trump.
Michael Cohen is the one who had the conversations. He's the one that brokered the deal, and he puts Trump right at the center of things. So he's a very important witness, but he's also a flawed witness.
These witnesses have baggage, and Michael Cohen is one of them. He spent 13 and a half months in prison for lying to Congress for election-related crimes. He's aware of the allegations. He was a witness to them. He was an actor in them, and his credibility will be challenged by the other side.
Then there's David Pecker. Why would he speak out against a former friend? Well, he's been promised legal immunity against prosecution for him personally and his company too. Prosecutors could have tried to charge him criminally for his role in all of this, but he agreed to cooperate.
The defense is going to make hay of that, saying that he has sold his soul and that what he's doing is lying too, because that's part of his agreement. But the prosecutors will say this is basic blocking and tackling in criminal law, that you offer immunity to people who can offer relevant testimony who might otherwise take the Fifth Amendment.
The Manhattan District Attorney who put this case together summarized it this way. It's about conspiring to corrupt a presidential election and then lying in New York business records to cover it up.
This is not two consenting adults trying to figure out how to suppress a story. This is about fraud on the election and fraud on the voters of New York as well as the taxpayers.
But you know, there's one potential witness we haven't discussed whose testimony could completely upend that narrative, and that's Donald Trump himself. He's on record as saying he wants very much to testify.
And he's often in past proceedings, whether it's impeachment or other criminal cases, said, I can't wait to get out there and testify. And then, lo and behold, he doesn't show up willingly because it's a monumental gamble. If he shows up and says something that's untruthful, he could be charged with perjury.
My sense is that Donald Trump is not a very disciplined witness, that he probably isn't one who's going to sit there and really take his lawyer's advice about how to testify. And so I think there might be a lot of fireworks when and if he does.
He denies the affair with Stormy Daniels, acknowledges the repayments to Michael Cohen, but says everything was legitimate, totally above board. His lawyer said today, there's nothing wrong with trying to influence an election. It's called democracy. This trial could take somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks, and it may be the only of Trump's indictments that conclude before election night in November.